Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabriella Catano, and for those of you that don't know me or who aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post. Today we're going to be doing an amazing video because it's perfect for those of you who are still like beginners or who maybe love makeup but don't know how to do a smoky eye. Smoky eye is a technique. You can do this technique with a bunch of other colors. It does not always have to be dark, but for the purpose of this video, we are going to be creating this type of smoky eye today. So if you're interested, share this video with a friend before we get started, and let's hop right into it. So because this is for beginners, we're going to have lots of details in this video, and the first thing that I want to let you guys know of, especially if you did your face makeup before your eyes, is to apply some extra powder under this area. Now, if you are someone who has dry skin or who has lots of textured skin under the eye area, then I suggest you do your eye makeup before so that it doesn't look cakey throughout the day or throughout the night, because you are going to have to pack on some powder if any fallout happens to land on your face. Next, you're going to need some concealer, and I'm going to use concealer for today. Sometimes I do use an actual eyeshadow primer, but because this is for beginners, I know that all of you have a concealer, and if you don't, literally, what are you doing? Go and run and get a concealer right now. This one is from L'Oreal, and it is the Infallible Full Wear in the shade Cashmere. You want to make sure that you blend out this concealer all over your eyelid. And the reason being is that it's going to prepare your eyes so that whenever you apply any eyeshadow, it looks more pigmented. And we also have discoloration sometimes on our eyes, so this covers up any imperfection on our eyelid space, and it gives us a beautiful canvas so that it's nice and perfect and ready for us to blend eyeshadows on. You can use a sponge, your fingers, or even a brush like I was just using to blend it out, as long as there are no creases and it's nice and blended. Because we're doing a smoky eye today, it's really important for us to be able to blend the shadows, so I don't want it to get patchy anywhere, so I want to make sure to add a little bit of translucent powder, just packing it on slightly over the eyelid to make sure that that concealer does not move. For the purpose of today's video, we're going to be doing a one-toned smoky eye, which is perfect for beginners. So if you are someone that's a little bit more advanced, you can still take these techniques and just use different shades instead of just using one shade. And there are different techniques on how I'm going to apply this one shade so that it does look a little bit different, it has some dimension, and it looks nice and blown out like a professional makeup artist did your makeup. I am going to be using the Lunar Beauty Life's A Drag color palette. I'm obsessed with this palette. It has amazing pigment and amazing shades. I'm sure that you can create whatever look you want. I'm going to be taking this shade, which is Trade, and it is a purpley, like burgundy brown shade. It's going to look so good smoked out. So the most important thing that you guys are going to need are specific brushes in order to create this style look. So I'm going to take a flat brush, something like this. If you notice, it's also a little bit stubby, so it's nice and short, but you guys can use a flat brush like this one. This one is from Il Maquillage, and it is the 188 Cream Shader Brush. Pretty much any flat brush that you have that is not a flat concealer brush. So definitely nothing like this. You definitely want it to have a little bit of fluff to it, because that's what's going to help you blend out the product. So I'm hopping into this shade, making sure I'm getting it all over that side. Now you're going to want to dust off the excess, and you're going to start right in the center, patting the product. If you notice, I'm holding the brush like this. I'm not holding it angled upwards. I'm not holding it downwards. I'm literally holding it straight up as it could be. And I am packing this product super close to the lash line, guys, and I'm going to stay under the crease. For those of you that don't know where the crease is, it's literally that little hollow space between your eyeball and your eyebrow bone. So we want to pack the most amount of color and pigment and darkness, or whatever shade we're using, right at the center, right here, like closer to that lash line, like I told you guys. And I'm just packing it. I'm not moving it from side to side, up and down, anywhere. I'm literally stamping it on like this. So once you feel like you've applied everything that is on this brush, you can go ahead and dip back in, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. Super important to dust off the excess, guys. You cannot forget that, especially if you have your face makeup on, because you don't want this dark burgundy purple color on your face. So again, we are going to just be building the intensity before we start to blow it out to the sides. Now I'm starting to go kind of like in a little circular motion, kind of clockwise, and make sure you're still patting it under the crease. Now that we've got that, you guys, it looks nice and dark. We can start to smoke it out, blend it out a little bit. So without adding any product, we are going to just begin tapping the sides of this. Tap, 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 tap. I'm doing it extremely slow. I don't want to rush. This is all about patience and blending. With whatever I have left, I'm not going to dip in and get more just yet. I'm also going to tap on the outside, always starting from the center and then going slowly towards the outside, guys. It's really important. And then doing the same thing to the inside, just back and forth until you feel like you've pretty much applied everything that is on this brush and you need to go dip in and get a little bit more. So I just dipped in and got a little bit more product. Now, I already have a really good, strong base right in the center, but remember, that's what we want to look the darkest and with the most intensity and pigment. So regardless, we are going to add this right to the center again, and then quickly start to blend it out to the corners and maybe a little higher up until we reach that crease. Once we're going upward into the crease, I'm holding it slightly diagonal because I feel like that way I could really get into the crease. And remember, we're just patting the product down. We're not really blending right now. We're just making sure that it is on our eyelid. So I think that looks really beautiful. I'm gonna quickly do the other side and come back to show you guys how to really blow it out and make it smoky. I'm back. Okay, so we are now ready to start smoking it out. So I went ahead and switched brushes. This one is a dual-ended brush, so I'll use one side now and one side later. It's actually from an Urban Decay Naked palette. I'm sure one of you guys has one of these brushes because I know y'all got the Naked Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes. So I am using the fluffier side because it's a little pointy. It's not too big and fluffy, but it is gonna give me that nice blend. So I am going to hop back into the shade because remember, we're using only one shade today. Getting it right on the tip. It's super important, you guys, to pick up product right on the tip and not on the sides. Always dust off the excess. And we're gonna start to very softly blend that crease. We're gonna start from the outside, going in small circles, and then going towards the outside, going towards the inside, going towards the outside. Notice how I'm holding the mirror, guys. This is such a big trick of mine. I don't hold the mirror straight ahead because if I did, then I feel like the eyelid space is not fully stretched out. You can't really see the amount of eyelid space you have to work with. If you look down towards like a downward angle a little bit and lift the eyebrow, then the eyelid space is opened up and you are really gonna get right into the crease, which is exactly what we want for this look, to look nice and blended. So I feel like I got a pretty nice blend on this eye. I'm gonna blend this eye too so you guys can see it come to life. Do not touch the eyelid because the eyelid, we don't wanna touch it. We wanna leave it like that, nice and pigmented. We don't want the eyeshadow to move, which is why we used a flat brush. So it's really important to really focus your blending on the crease. So if you guys have another fluffy brush just laying around that you haven't touched just yet, make sure it's nice and clean because we're not gonna be adding any shadow to this. We're actually just going to ever so slightly blend the very edge of what we just did, just to make sure it's a nice perfect gradient and it goes into like that concealer that's right under the eyebrow and it looks nice and perfectly blended out. It doesn't look like a harsh line or like it just abruptly stops right there. The point of a smoky eye is not necessarily for it to be dark, but for it to look smoked out, blended, kind of like dispersed, you know? So remember I said I was gonna use the other side. We have now completed the smoky eye part on the upper eyelid area, and now we wanna go to the lower lid and add some of that burgundy shade because a smoky eye is not complete if the bottom lid does not match the top, you guys. It's very important to dust off the excess. And remember how I said my trick was to look down? Well, when I do the bottom lid, my trick is to look up. So I bring the mirror up here, make sure that this skin is nice and stretched out, and I am going to just apply this like so. Getting pretty close to the lashes. It's the same color. You guys could always change it up if you want like a pop of color, but it just adds a little bit of that smokiness, you know? Now, some people like to put an eyeliner, and I definitely suggest if you're gonna put eyeliner to put it on your inner waterline right here, not on the outside, because that just makes it look harsh and that look is not in right now, okay? And if you use a shadow, it looks softer, but it still looks very, very like professional and like you know what you're doing. And Even though you're beginners, it doesn't matter, you still want to look good. And if you feel like it does look like a little bit of a line or you did it too harsh, you can always get a very tiny brush, something like this. This is the Morphe M506. Without adding any shade to it or any color, you can just quickly go like this, same thing, going back and forth, side to side, and it's gonna help blend that out. It's kind of like what we did to the top eyelid, except now for the bottom eyelid. All right, guys, there you have it. This is the easiest, quickest smoky eye that you guys could start practicing, especially if you are beginners. If you're not a beginner and you wanted to watch it anyway, this is a great look. It really looks good with so many different eye shapes. I'm gonna go finish up my makeup, meaning I'm gonna put some mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back. And I'm back, you guys. Off camera, I also wiped off the excess powder I had under here. I forgot to do it on camera with you guys, but it was so simple. Literally, all I did was just do some tapping motions to get whatever excess baking I had going on. So remember, if you have dry skin, it's better to just do your eye makeup beforehand. That way, if you guys get a little messy, you don't have to keep caking on powder and powder and powder, which makes your makeup look cakey, a little bit more heavy, and also dries out your skin. But in my case, I did it really quickly. It doesn't really matter because I am gonna take off my makeup after this video, and you can always just put a little setting spray to make sure you set that powder and kind of like freshen up your makeup. So yes, I put on some mascara and lashes, but I didn't want to do too much. I didn't put any eyeliner on or anything because I wanted you to really see how beautiful this smoky eye is, even though it's only one shade and even though it's pretty simple. Remember, you can also change up the color. It doesn't have to be this like purple, burgundy red. It could be something else. It could be brown, gray, pink, blue, literally whatever shade you want. You guys get to decide because it's the same technique. Now, the most important thing that I didn't bring up throughout the video, but I'm gonna say it now before I forget, is that the shade that I used is matte. So for smoky eye, make sure you're using mattes because they just look way better all over your eyelid. It doesn't matter if you have texture on your eyes. It doesn't matter if maybe you have a little bit of wrinkles there or if you have hooded eyes. Matte eyeshadows for smoky eye is what you want to go for, okay? Make sure you're not using anything with shimmer. If you want to incorporate shimmer or glitter, that's a whole other video. It's a little bit more advanced, which is why I didn't include it in this one. If you guys liked this tutorial, let me know in a comment down below. Remember to share this video with a friend and like this video so that I know that you guys want to see more videos like this and so that it gets saved to your own YouTube page so you guys could go back to it and look at it whenever you want. Follow along the tutorial if you have a special event or if you just want to remember the technique that I use, you need a little refresher. Remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post and so that you never miss a video. Follow me on my Instagram accounts, Gabriella Catano and Catano Glam, because I do post a lot more throughout the week, not just about beauty, but also lifestyle, fashion, behind the scenes. You guys come with me when I go on TV and you guys get to see me without makeup, just talking about real life stuff. So make sure you follow me over there, as well as you get to see how I do makeup on other people, on my clients. And for more like quick and faster type of transformation makeup videos or stuff like that, or like a quick tip, you can also follow my TikTok account, Real Gabriella Catano, and I post content over there multiple times a week as well. And I will see you guys in my next video.